And if you don't think they are morally correct, and if you don't think that they have a moral compass, and you're like, hey, they have $1 billion, why don't they just give it away? Here's the, go make $1 billion. You go make $1 billion. And you have the correct moral compass that they don't have, is what you're telling me. Go make $1 billion. And that is the greatest thing, is that you have the ability. I have the ability. Everyone has the ability. Nobody cares. Nobody cares whether you're fat, skinny, ugly, good looking, right? Sure, there's some certain things that stack in your favor, but black, white, Asian, green, Indian, nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. Not in this country, period. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I've been in a room full of millionaires, bro. And guess what I see? You know what I see? All sorts. I see blacks, whites, Indians. And you know the crazy part? They're all talking to each other perfectly fine. They don't care, bro. They don't care. This notion that, oh my God, they care. No, they don't. No, they don't. I know tons of super millionaires. They don't care. They don't care, right? They care about what you bring to the table. They care about your who you are as a person. They care about how you do business. They care about your skill set. They care about the proof that you bring to the table. They care about, you know what I mean? Like that's what they care about, right? So my pushback is not necessarily the morality so much. Sure, they're giving money to these organizations or whatever because sometimes they have to and not because they want to, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, and again, we can argue morality of billionaires forever, but the reality is, unless we know them personally, Rich, like it's all hearsay, right? Right? What I am arguing is the fact that this is the greatest part about capitalism, is that there is no rule book for who can and who can't. And at any point in time, if somebody wants to say, well, all of these billionaires are immoral and pieces of crap because they don't cure world hunger. Great. Go cure world hunger. Go cure world hunger. Go become a billionaire so you can just give it all up, however you want. And anytime we have the ability to do that, unfortunately, in my opinion, I'm saying we agree, I'm just saying this is my opinion, because we have the ability to do that, that entire billionaire argument to me crumbles irrelevant, because we always have the ability to go be one of them and just give it away. You know what I mean? That's it. It's the way it is. So now to answer your final question, you did ask me, hey, being who you are, moral, if you were a billionaire, Jimmy, you don't mean you wouldn't give? Of course I would give. But again, back to, they also give. But the fact that I'm not willing to give it all, knowing that you know me, does that mean that I'm immoral? Probably not. Probably not, right? And again, you of all people would know, right, to some degree, when people would come and say, hey, man, he's a billionaire, man. Like, what the hell? All that money, because you know me and you've seen what I've gone through, I can almost guarantee you that your thought process would be different. I'm not saying you would defend me. What I am saying that at least you would have the wherewithal to say things like, you have no idea what that guy went through. You have no idea what he sacrificed to me. You have no idea, right? You have no idea. And if you want it so bad and you want what he has, then go do it. Go do it. If you're better than he is and you're more moral than he is, then go do it, right? That's the way it works, right? So that's my pushback. Not so much the morality, because that's hearsay. It's more the ability, whether we like it or not. It is the ability that we all have an opportunity to be the next Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg and so forth. Period. That's my.
I understand. I'm not saying it's the processing.
Sure, yeah, and I'm okay if we're different. And again, that's one of the things that I talked about, right? Like, I love hearing different like sides of the aisle, man. Like,
it's my major thing. I mean, like, charities and stuff aside, like, it all comes back down to, like, you know, there's a website you can go to spend Bill Gates' money, right? You can like buy like every NFL team, 16 yachts, 45 jets, and all these things, and still not even break the first level of billion.
Yeah.
Like,
now, to give you an example, and this is important. I want you to finish your thought, but this is important because we talked about morality briefly. Well, you talked about morality, and you came to the conclusion that all billionaires are immoral, right? I came to the conclusion that you might be right, but we really truly don't know. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm going to hold true to what I told you. Now, with that being said, is that they are 100%, there's signs of whether someone is immoral or not, right? There are signs. Example, I believe that Bill Gates is immoral. And I believe Bill Gates is immoral because of some of the things that he's done, right? The way he's treated farmers and bought farmland and sold land to China. Like, I believe Bill Gates is immoral because of the things that he's done. Does that make sense? Right? So again, it is not a uneducated assumption. It is an assumption based on his actions. And I think that when anyone has actions, all you have to do is go see their actions. And based on their actions, you could tell whether they are aligned or unaligned with the things that you believe in or don't believe in, right? So like that is where we do talk about more and more. And that is where I am open to and willing to say something like, yeah, I believe that guy's immoral. But it's not because I'm just assuming or I think because he's a billionaire. No. I'm telling you he's immoral, not because he's a billionaire. I'm telling you he's immoral because of the things that he's done. There's the difference.
Yeah. What I was saying before, but I had a new thought. Just a general... Okay, so let's just say... I forget who exactly... Anyway, so when layoffs happen, let's just say, right, like there was recently that Amazon, okay?
Yeah, just laid off 30,000 people or whatever.
Like, just knowing the way that the job market is, to now say, okay, here's 30,000, now also trying to go for all these jobs and whatever, right? Just knowing that it's a freaking bloodbath, doing whatever they can to get the most work for the least price, and which is justified, because why would you do that? But Amazon not having actually lost any significant levels of revenue to then say, okay, we're going to lay off 30,000 people and replace them with full of machines.
Machines, robots.
Would that not classify as moral, or is it on too large of a scale to like for it to register? Like if I don't know, let's just say everyone in your family worked for Amazon in those positions, and now they've all been laid off or fired, or whatever it is, right? And now there's nothing you can do about their job situation. They just have to go out and find new jobs in places, but they had no time to whatever. Maybe there's a severance, but still, like, is that something that a billionaire should do for their company if it's...
So, a couple of things. If you think that a billionaire by himself, right? I don't care if it's Jeff Bezos, I don't care if it's Elon Musk. If you think that billionaire by himself makes those calls, that's not the way it works. The minute you get to that scale, you have a board, right? You have a board. And guess what? That board is made up of a bunch of people, some smart, some probably think they're smart and they're stupid, some moral, some immoral, right? There's just a board. It's not one singular person. You know what I'm saying? Like those things are discussed with a layoff like that. That's the first thing. So to pin that on one singular person, unfortunately, unrealistic. That's the first thing. Here's the second thing. Because the argument you made or the example you gave is if, let's say it's your family, okay? First of all, if it was my family, I would have called them 6, 7, 8 months ago and said, hey man, you need to start looking. Why? Because you're going to get replaced by a robot. If I really love them and care about them, that's what I would tell them. If you think for a second that your job is secure, think again. It's not. So you need to start acquiring a skill set that is worth the poop in the market that people will pay for. Does that make sense? Because eventually, guess what? You're not going to be here. So if I really love my family that worked at Amazon, that's what I would tell them. So being that the case, if you got let go 8 months later, then I guess my first question would be, hey, I gave you that news 8 months ago and I told you to do something. What did you start doing? And if they told me nothing, as much as it pains me to say, Rich, they chose to not improve their position, right? More often than not every time, there are scenarios where you could clearly see what that company did was immoral. Let me give you an example. There was a trucking company up here in California in Victorville, right? Everything's fine, trucking's fine. The company didn't really show any major signs. I mean, yeah, they showed some speed bumps here and there during COVID, but really nothing else besides that. And company one day, guys came in to get the trucks for the day deliveries and the gate was closed. It was locked and there was a big sign outside the gate that said, we are out of business. Go home. Nobody got paid. No one got severance packages. That was it. No one got a next paycheck. That was it. That is immoral. I don't think anyone can argue that one. Would you agree with that?
Right, yeah.
Okay. I could recognize immoral. That's immoral, Rich. Period. No argument there, bro. Nothing to talk about. You don't think that ownership group knew way ahead of time that they were going out of business? Stop it, bro. Yeah, they did. They should have said something. That is immoral. A $1 billion company like Amazon, and you see the writing on the wall with all this new AI machinery and all of this other stuff. Sorry, man, but shame on you. Shame on you. If you think that you have a secure job, shame on you. Sorry. That is being naive and lazy at the same. Most people, Rich, stay in one place for one of two reasons. A, lack of, let's call it motivation, discipline, and systems, right? Combination of those three, okay? Or B, fear. Fear of what if I decide to do that? Then, and it doesn't work, then what happened? What if I decide to do that and it just doesn't work out? What if, those are the two main reasons why people stay stuck. You know what I mean? So in that particular example, that's what I would say. You are naive and stupid if you think that your job was secure in a company that is going to always find ways to make the economics better, especially with the current technology. Does that make sense? So that's what I would say.
There were a number, not with machine, but just shut down.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think, yeah, if you, like, I know there are video editor AIs out there, and I'm praying for their failure.
Sure.
No, but no,
I'm not praying. I'm not praying for their failure. You know what I'm praying for? I'm praying that they get really good, and praying is the wrong word that I'm going to use here specifically for you, but I'm going to use praying because you use praying. So to be clear, I don't hope that they get worse. I hope that they get great, but I hope that you get better at using those tools, because then you, my friend, will have a job forever, and I will overpay you to do it. Simple as that. I don't want a prompt. Like, you need to learn how to do it. I don't have time for that.
There are plenty of AI in video editing that I'm already using that makes life so
for sure,
easy.
100%.
So easy.
I agree. Me and Matt were talking about today because we use our new we use HyperRank, our new AI SEO tool. And Matt's like, dude, I did 3 months of SEO on a client's website in like a day. He's like, it would have taken 3 months for us to finish that. And furthermore, like, it would have taken another 2 or 3 people on our SEO team. So it would have taken 3 more employees and 3 more months.
Do it. What do you do once you have?
It was crazy.
Once you've condensed 3 months into a couple of hours.
It was crazy, dude.
Like,
he was like, it's amazing.
Like,
it's amazing.
What else is? What do you do tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh, we'll find things.
Dude,
Yeah, we'll find things. But anyways,
yeah.
you're off already, right? I want to make sure you don't miss your family dinner. It's important. So here's the good news. The good news is we knocked out 2 good videos. And the good news is that this conversation we had was great, massive content.
This is a lot.
Honestly, we had some really good content. So we've been talking for more than an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And honestly, we went at it like with good topics, to be honest with you.
That was